How many married people in the house? You better put some enthusiasm on that, woo. How many would agree marriage changes everything? It changes everything. And they don't tell you that marriage not only changes everything in your relationship to the person you're marrying, when you commit to be with them all the time, but the thing that surprised me about my relationship with Holly is how much my relationship with her changed my relationship with other things. Not just my time, like, oh, well, now I got to be home, the old ball and chain. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like that about her at all. But over time, how her preferences have assimilated into me. And now her preferences have become the prism, not prison, prism, through which I experience so much of life. And so the way that my wife feels about things changes the way that I feel about so many things in my life. My relationship with my wife changed my relationship with so many other things in my life. I'm sure she'd say the same about her relationship with me. For the 21 years we've been married, I've been advocating to her that rock music is God's music. For the Bible says, He is a rock. But I won her over slowly from her having the perspective of that most rock music was annoying. And now she knows it's anointed. Her relationship with me changed her relationship with the genre. One of the first times I knew that being married to this person was going to change me and change my orientation towards simple, elemental, basic things. Early when we were married, we woke up one morning and it was raining outside. And I looked over at her and she was awake and she was smiling. She said, I just love a good rainy day. So relaxing, so cozy. And I'm like, oh, you're one of these people. Rain to me is depressing. I know it shouldn't be. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Pray for me. My sanctification process is still in progress. I'm buffering. And she's like, oh, what a blessing, a rainy day. Now we can just, relax and all of that. So through her eyes, over the last 21 years, I've kind of come to see it. It can be relaxing. Rain can be relaxing. I never knew that. So what I'm trying to say, just as a basic illustration to set this up, is that my relationship with her changed my relationship to something as simple as rain, just by being with her. It didn't make it rain more or less because we're married. It changed my relationship with the rain. I saw Larry Bry on a video earlier. Is he in the room? Yeah. Remember when it rained early one Sunday? About the third or fourth week we had this church, y'all, and the attendance momentum was going good. It rained. The attendance dropped by 30%. I found out people don't need much to stay home from church. And I was mad about it, and I went back just kind of disappointed and all, because in those days we were just, really trying to survive week to week. This goofball is smiling, just grinning ear to ear. I don't know if you know him, but he's just a very over-the-top personality. I said, what you smiling about, silly head? We had 20%. Did you not see all those empty seats for the rain? He said, did you not see our greeter team? He had bought these umbrellas with Elevation logos on them, and he was waiting for a rainy day. He got to use his umbrellas. He's grinning like Mary Poppins. I'm like Ebenezer Scrooge, and it's just about, and really, I bring that up because I wanted a simple way to say something that's kind of deep and kind of hard to talk about, is that your relationship with Christ should change your relationship with adversity. Y'all liked the metaphor better about the rain, didn't you? The rain was cute. Yeah. My relationship with Christ, you know how we say Jesus changes everything? True, but needs some explanation. Jesus didn't make me 6'3" when he saved me. He didn't change everything. Jesus isn't fixing this bald spot on the back of my head. I'd have to pay somebody in Miami to do that. He's not going to change everything. Jesus changes the way I see everything. Therefore, Jesus changes everything by changing me. And as he changes me, having him, knowing him, walking with him, being in relationship with him, like my relationship with Holly, it changes the way I see the rain. When you see these leaves falling off the trees around here, if you're the one who has to blow them out of the driveway, they're a nuisance. But if you're the soil, those are nutrients. Is it a nuisance or is it a nutrient? It depends on whether you're the soil or whether you're the person who's responsible of lawn maintenance and making it look aesthetically pleasing. Now, Paul says, and I'm finally to the text, I want you to know about this church in Macedonia. They are amazing, but they are not affluent. They have an abundant mentality in a scarcity situation. Many of us are the opposite. We have an abundant situation, a scarcity mindset. Whether it's because of our overcommitment to all of the things that we've done to impress people or get people to like us, and it doesn't even really work, because the moment that you stop doing it, they stop liking you, so they didn't really like you. They liked what you were doing for them, and now you've run yourself ragged for somebody you don't even have a real relationship with. And it can leave you feeling depleted. Paul says just the opposite. I always thought this scripture was a paradox. Not a contradiction, a paradox. A contradiction, two things that can't both be true. Can't both be true. Paradox doesn't look true on the surface, but dig beneath it a little bit, it's true. I'll give you a paradox. Less is more. No, more is more. Unless it's not. And no, that doesn't mean I'm only going to preach for 20 minutes this week because less is more. But there are times where your silent presence will mean more than your best advice. You know that. You ever had somebody and what they didn't say was a blessing? So less was more. That's a paradox. How about the paradox of your personality? How about the paradox of your purpose? How about the paradox of the provision in your life? I'll go through all three of those. Your personality, the fact that there are times where you are very outgoing and there are times you want to be left alone. That doesn't make you a hypocrite. It makes you a human. How about your purpose? The fact that sometimes you're very sure God told you to take that job. And other times, you feel the Lord might be in the moving truck ministry sometime in 2024. Huh? How about the paradox of purpose? And then the paradox of provision, which is really central to this text. Paul said there was a church in Macedonia, and out of their poverty, it's unclear in this situation exactly what was happening to them other than it was the effect of persecution. Now they're giving an offering to the church at Jerusalem, and they don't have themselves many basic needs met. Paul says, out of this is a miracle. And I believe that one of the things Christ enables us to do, and I want you to shout or clap or throw something at me if you don't disagree with what I'm saying too much, is that we should never let an event become our identity. Ever. Watch me work this out now, because I'm talking about our adversities and our achievements. No event should become your identity. That is a fragile, flawed foundation to build your house on. One storm can knock it down. No achievement should be me in my mind. No achievement, no talent, no ability should be conflated with my character as I decide who is it that I am. I remember a lady told me one time, I grew up in the low country where you did. And she said, I have a bone to pick with you. I said, a bone to pick with me? You are from the low country talking like this. Let's pick. She said, I got a bone to pick with you. She said, I listen to your sermons and you don't talk like where you come from. She had a deep Southern accent. She said, why don't you talk? If you're from Moncks Corner, South Carolina, why can't I hear your Southern accent when you preach? I said, lady, I don't know. I didn't take a class. I didn't have it cast out. I don't know. I can put it on anytime I want to, but I don't know. It just kind of fell off along the way. And it's a good question, right? Like what she asked me. Why don't you talk like where you come from? I got a bone to pick with a lot of believers. How our mouths speak so much about what we're missing. And we claim to have Christ as the center of our life. I feel like preaching. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And through Him were all things made that were made, Colossians says. So the beginning was the Word was Jesus. Jesus is in you. If Jesus is in you and you came from Him, then why do you say you can't make it? If Jesus is in you and you come from Him and all the fullness of the deity dwells in Jesus, not baby Jesus, I'm talking about reigning Jesus. I'm talking about Christ in you, the hope of glory. Touch your neighbor, say, talk like where you came from. Come on, let's practice. Say, I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm anointed for this. I'm absolutely dead smack in the center of God's will for my life. He woke me up this morning. My cup is overflowing. I owe Him the praise. You know where I come from? And I wonder, did you forget where you came from because of what you went through? Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. But that's Psalm 23, verse 4. We're not there yet. David started this whole thing off by saying, the Lord is my shepherd. Identity. I walk through the valley. Event. Flip the whole thing around and you'll feel better. Flip the whole thing around and you'll be able to breathe again. Flip the whole thing around and you might be surprised what you see about your situation. Is that no success makes me who I am. No failure limits what I can be. Because the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. We could go home, but we're not going to. Because some of y'all are going through. It would shock you what someone on your row might be going through. I had 2 conversations in the last 24 hours that shocked me. People I had been around and had no idea what they were going through. People I was in regular contact with, and I had no idea their family member committed suicide. They didn't tell anybody. Didn't even tell their pastor. Didn't know if they could. Felt ashamed about it. I had a conversation with someone that I love very much the other day, and they made a statement that I believe expresses the sentiment of many of us, spoken or unspoken. He was in the middle of a spiraling emotional state. And he said to me, I hate myself so much right now. I hate myself so much right now. I didn't say anything because that kind of statement needs a little bit of space. But after he had said it as much as he needed to say it, I said, let's say it a little bit differently this time. Let's say it, but let's say it different. Let's say it like we know where we come from. Not I hate myself right now. I hate how this is making me feel right now. You see? Now I'm talking to addicts. Not I hate myself because I do this. I hate how this sin changed me to the me that I don't have to be anymore, that is pattern program based, not potential conscious. I hate this event, but the event is not the identity. So now I can fight it because I am not it. Say this, I am not it. My mama told me, pick the very best one, and I am not it. Give God praise that you're not it. I did it, but I'm not it. I'm in it, but I'm not it. It's with me in church this morning, but I'm not it. It came with me, but it's not going to get in me. And even if it's in me, it's got to get out because I'm not built. All right. So my relationship with Holly changed the way I saw the rain. My relationship with Christ then therefore changes my relationship with what I'm going through. What are you going through that nobody really knows? Don't say it out loud because you won't say the real one. I don't need a single one of you to put it in the chat because what it really is doesn't belong on YouTube, does it? What are you going through? My friend texted me, this is probably like 4 years ago. And he said, that was a great sermon. What are you going through? I said, what do you mean? He said, nobody preaches like that unless they're going through something. And that is one thing about adversity, isn't it? Adversity, I'm going to tell you 3 things that adversity is if you know Jesus, okay? If you don't know Jesus, adversity is a closed door that you can't get past. If you don't know Jesus, it's a Jericho wall you can't get over. If you don't know Jesus, adversity is an end point of a dream. If you don't know Jesus, adversity is a reason for you to throw your hands up in disgust, feel sorry for yourself, and eat 3 gallons of ice cream, and let's just get in shape January 1. If you don't know Jesus, but if my relationship with you changed my relationship with the rain, maybe my relationship with Jesus can change my relationship with adversity. The first thing that it won't do, I'm going to give you 3 things that it does do, but the first thing that it won't do is it won't make you avoid. And if it would, then David wouldn't say, yea, though I walk through the valley. You can't avoid certain adversity. I should say this through wisdom. All right. And I want to let that sink in, because sometimes I think sometimes in church, we glorify adversity as if it's always God's first way. But sometimes God gives you a command as your first school of learning and adversity as your summer school. Does that make any sense? Y'all looking at me kind of weird. I can't decide if, it won't, because if it said, yea, though I look at the valley of the shadow of death and God airlifts me out, I will fear no evil. Yea, though I glide over the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Well, I bet you won't. You're gliding over it. Somebody say, go through. So when you go through adversity, whatever that adversity is, and I don't mean to say that in a generic way, the Lord specifically gave me that word adversity. And he told me to focus on that adversity in your life. The first thing that adversity is, when you put it in the hands of Jesus, it is an adjuster. Adversity in the hands of God serves as an adjuster. Not all adversity comes from the hand of God. It all must pass through the hand of God. Whatever you're going through, it had to go through God before it got to you. And before it's over, it has to go through God again so he can work it for the good in your life. Shout about that. Shout about that. You should. And watch this. Not all the time, but Paul said sometimes our tendency is to get too high, to identify ourselves with our achievement. So Paul said, this is later in 2 Corinthians, I just remember the scripture, he said, therefore to keep me from becoming conceited, there was given me a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan sent to buffet me. Buffet is not like Warren. This isn't a stock in his account. This is, it beat me, but it didn't defeat me. It was an adversity sent to get me grounded in God's grace. Sometimes God will allow adversity, even if he doesn't send adversity, to adjust you in your life. Because he knows right now you're moving a little fast. He knows right now you're looking down on people a little bit. He knows right now, if I give it to you, you'll eat it, you won't sow it. So I've got to get you in a place where you can recognize that I'm your shepherd. Hey, thanks for stopping by my YouTube channel. I hope you were blessed today. If you were, share this with somebody. Like and subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from, what we can pray for you about. Hope to see you back here again really soon.